we end every week with a Christian athlete spotlight.
Yeah.
It is mine this week. I picked Jonathan Isaac, who is a basketball player for the Orlando Magic.
I think I did him. Did I?
Could have. You could have. I don't know if you did.
Go ahead. I'm gonna look it up.
I didn't really have like a specific quote necessarily to talk about him, but what he's doing is kind of more of what I want to talk about. Is he's starting a shoe brand? It's called the shoe is called Judah. I think it's the brand is Unitas, and then the shoe is the Judah One. Mm-hmm. But there's a video, like of him basically marketing the shoe, and I picked out
make sure you put it up.
I picked out a few quotes from that marketing campaign, and it was cool. The first one was to live bold means standing up for what you believe in. And then when he's talking about his shoes and kind of what they represent, he says to wear their values on their feet. So he's talking about people that like believe in Jesus, believe in God, having those verses on their shoes and representing or wearing what you represent. And then he's also continuing to say to have freedom to say, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, just kind of like what I was saying, for people that want to express their faith in more ways.
They're actually kind of cool shoes.
About it. It does look really cool. I mean, I'll definitely put a picture up here just so you guys can see it. There's several different colorways. And then what is cool is it is the first basketball shoe with visible Bible verses on them on the outside. Obviously,
$150, Isaac. Yeah, my man.
Obviously, they're like people have definitely wrote stuff on their shoes before, wrote verses, but this is like on it. Like every shoe they have, like it's gonna be on there.
I like this.
Yeah, and they're going to like I think every shoe has a different verse, if I'm not mistaken, but they all mean something to him. So I think one of them was like 2 Corinthians.
One of them's Proverbs 28:1.
So yeah, so they're all different. But what's cool is just because it kind of plays to his story as far as what verse they are.
Oh yeah, 2 Corinthians 4:9. Sorry, I'm talking over you.
No, you're good. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. So it's just cool to see. And what he said too is that he's not going to build these shoes just to be like a brand. He wants them to actually be a good shoe. So they're not just going to be like Christian shoes, like, oh, they're cool to look at. No, they're going to be like well-performing, and that's what the hope is. Obviously, you never really know. New shoes don't really come out that often, honestly, especially in basketball. It's something been dominated by like Nike and Adidas, Reebok and Jordan, a little bit, Converse a little bit in the past. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's cool that he's just kind of owning up to it and just going for it.
Oh, it's only $130? No, it's $150. Darn it!
But we'll see. I mean, I don't know like what it'll do if they'll get super popular, but it's always cool to see somebody just kind of go for it and be like, hey, this is what I believe in.
I don't think you can see it, but I like it. I like this line of Judah one, dude. I might.
So we'll see.
I need some new shoes. Well, I don't need.
It'll be kind of fun. But yeah, Jonathan Isaac. So he plays for the Orlando Magic.
He also has a great book called Why I Stand.
Yes.
I don't know if you've read it. I have it, and I can bring it next week for you to read. It's really good.
I mean, I know what happened.
Yeah. So it was during the whole
national anthem,
Black Lives Matter movement, basically in the bubble. He was one of the few people that stood. Yep. And a couple reasons kind of in the book, you know, there was people that did military reasons. They're like, no, I stand for this because the national anthem means more to me than the soldiers or whatever, which is fair. And then Jonathan Isaac basically said, no, I don't take a knee to anyone except for the Lord my God. Mm-hmm. So for something like this, he's like, I will not take a knee for any type of race, any type of people, any type of anthem, anything. So he stood. It's a really good book. It was also produced, or I don't know what the word is for books, but published by the Daily Wire, who's I guess kind of conservative-y type of Christian
news outlet.
Yeah, media outlet type thing. They have a bunch of shows and stuff now too. But anyway, it has a great book. So we can probably put that up there too. It's a very interesting book. If you've never read it, I would recommend it. It's an easy read. But I like it. I can give it to you. You can borrow it for a little bit.
Jonathan Isaac. I mean, I didn't really know too much about him. Obviously, I've heard about him, but it's kind of cool just to.
And he's a really good defender. Like he's not going to leave the league because of what he's doing, because he is genuinely good enough to be in the league. He's probably arguably the best defender in the league when healthy.
So I mean, just like obviously all these Christian athletes that we sponsor, it's just not sponsor. Like just talk about. We don't. Sponsor,
you guys know we're really broke, so.
No, it's. I say it every week, but it's just cool to see somebody just go for it and just talk about their faith when they have.
You're seeing it a lot more too. Like we've talked about with the Olympics and stuff. I think there's a lot more people that are taking these platforms that they have and really trying to take a different role and a different step. And you're seeing, you know, I think with like social media, you saw this with all the negative stuff or whatever, and now you're starting to see kind of the Christian. Start to parallel
rebuttal,
it and try to start to pass it a little bit with a lot of things. I mean, if you get on to any social media, you will find that kind of Christian algorithm, and it can really, you know, can change a lot of people's lives. You know, so I I think you're right. I think that there's a lot of things. But I like John. They're on the nice, great basketball player. It's really fun. So that's a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Kinda Athletic podcast. Please like and subscribe to all our social media platforms and make sure to come back next week to hear more from the Kinda Athletic podcast.